Horror powerhouse Jordan Peele had a new film drop this weekend, breaking box office records and scaring the masses. I've been torn on the previous two films Peele has done. I think they've been wonderfully crafted films full of great performances, shedding light on untapped terrors, and filled with great moments of tension and terror. But at the same time, I found them somewhat problematic in the delivery, relying on easy targets and dumbing down the plots in order to get mass audience appeal. Let's see if this is the case for his new flick, Nope. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Nope is now in theaters. It's directed and written by Jordan Peele. After the untimely death of their father, Otis Haywood Sr., played by Keith David, his son, Otis Jr., aka OJ, played by Daniel Kaluuya, attempts to maintain the business of managing horse actors for films. See, the Haywoods have long been associated with the training of horses for movies since the beginning of film itself. Helping OJ is his fast-talking sister, Emerald, played by Keke Palmer, who has moved away from the farm and really isn't suited for ranch living. When strange happenings occur on the ranch and horses begin disappearing, the Haywoods believe there is a UFO on their property. Smelling opportunity, Emerald buys security cameras from a local electronics store and sets them up all over the ranch, hoping to get the impossible clear shot of the UFO and cash in on it. But getting this shot means putting OJ and the horses in peril, a peril not of planet Earth, otherwise known as Nope. Meanwhile, the owner of the Haywood Ranch, Ricky Jupe Park, played by Stephen Yeun, has his own plans on cashing in on the interstellar happenings. Nope is not what you think. Well, it is about an unidentified flying object that seems to be abducting people and horses on a California ranch, but it's not your typical flying saucer movie. I've come to expect an unconventional approach to well-tread subject matter from Jordan Peele. He did a twist on the pod people in Us and Stepford Wives conspiracy in Get Out. Both films tackled well-known horror tropes. He also cast them with black people and used them as central characters and not token props set up first to die, as with many, many other horror films. All of this made Peele's production feel new and fresh, making him the new king of Hollywood horror in the eyes of critics and fans alike. While I can appreciate the message he was trying to say in Get Out and Us, it did feel like he was becoming the new M. Night Shyamalan, where he was developing a predictable style, that of presenting horror from other films but through a black cast experience. Which is fine, but I feel the filmmaker is much more than just that. Nope is probably Peele's most accomplished film. It proves that Peele can interlace the issues of race and narrative without having them overpower it. The fact that the Haywoods were the first black horse trainers in Hollywood is a wonderful and little-known fact that helps illuminate the influence of black culture in movies. Peele also addresses some of the tropes Asian actors find themselves forced into through Stephen Yeun's character, who was a giant sitcom star in his youth. At the same time, Peele tosses in a little prejudice on Haywood's side, specifically Emerald, when she makes assumptions about Yeun's ethnicity when she first meets him. This is quite a leap from having every white person be a racist in Get Out and every white person be cartoon cannon fodder in Us. The story is not solely about race, but takes its time to acknowledge and address smaller, subtler issues of race that people don't talk about as much. One can run a parallel with the theme of the way animals are often treated in films with the black experience with slavery. It's a theme that is subtle, but ever present throughout the film, and never overpowers the narrative. But that's not the point of Nope. More so than any of his other films, Nope feels like a spectacle movie for a big audience. It's filled with giant special effects in the latter half and a pulse-pounding climax with everything, including the lives of everyone we have come to care about in the story, at stake. At the same time, it's a spectacle that takes its time. Nope starts slow. It's like OJ himself, a slow talker, a slow mover, a more deliberate decision maker. The story doesn't begin with a spacecraft landing or a spectacular sighting or anything like that. Much like Shyamalan's Signs, the film takes its time introducing some elements of mystery, yet also allows the viewer to settle into the lives of the Haywoods. Many people are not comfortable with long silences in movies, or movies that take their time with suspense and let the scene play out naturally. But that's exactly what Peele does with Nope. Peele is guilty of inserting a few jump scares here and there, but these serve as punchlines that occur after the terrifying scenes of action and horror, rather than hollow cat jumping through the window pranks that happened before it. This makes for a more satisfying and memorable scare, and those occur all the way through the movie. The mystery of what exactly is flying through the sky above the Haywood farm is something I've never seen done before. It could be seen as a Shyamalan twist, but the twist feels warranted because of heavy themes of OJ's relationship with his horses and a bone-chilling subplot involving Steven Yeun's character's grotesque encounter with a stage chimp on the stage of a sitcom in the 80s. These themes resonate and drive the point home that we may not be ready or able to communicate with alien life forms since we can't even treat ourselves and our animals with respect and understanding. The cast is stellar from top to bottom. Everyone with a speaking part is hitting a home run here. While he seemed nervous and out of his depth a bit in Get Out, Daniel Kaluuya commands every scene he's in with an intensity few actors have. His eyes are shifty and ever observant, noticing things that normal people don't because they are living much more fast-paced lives. This proves to be the one thing that helps him in noticing and understanding the actions of the UFO. Keke Palmer is well-intentioned as Emerald, but her actions make her out to be a pretty unlikable person at first. It isn't until she is reminded of what home is that we see some kind of development in her fast-moving demeanor. She's the opposite of her brother, but the two actors working together complement each other perfectly. It makes you believe in their love for one another despite their differences. The rest of the cast is great as well. Michael Wincott is always amazing with his gravelly voice and zen attitude. Here he is a pompous and somewhat over-the-hill cameraman looking for inspiration and a reason to keep doing what he's doing. His role is small but integral to the story, and he ends up finding that purpose in a highly dramatic way. Much of the comedy falls on the shoulders of Brandon Perea as Angel, the tech guy who installs the security cams on the Haywood farm and gets caught up in the mayhem, even though they don't want him there. His jittery delivery is perfect and necessary relief in some of the more tense scenes. I also loved Steven Yeun in the role of the landowner. He could have played it as a benevolent land baron, always on the Haywoods' back for payments, but instead he ends up being a likable and complex guy with a very tragic backstory. I'm not going to reveal that subplot here because it simply has to be seen to be believed, and yes, it involves that lady with the veil in the trailers. Finally, though he is only in the film for about 3 minutes, Keith David is great, and it's uncanny how much he and Daniel Kaluuya look like each other. This was perfect casting for this iconic actor. Nope ends suddenly. It offers no world-spanning resolution, just a satisfying conclusion to the story we just witnessed. It's a big-time blockbuster film, but never forgets to pay attention to those small, intimate, and pants-shittingly scary moments of the unknown. Nope is a modern-day Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but while I felt that Spielberg's film was slightly distanced from the viewer, Nope is right up next to you, as familiar as your neighbor, and that's what makes it all the more scary. While the effects are present throughout, I love the way Peele uses them sporadically, crescendoing to a truly bombastic climax with iconic scenes of terrifying peril. This is the type of summer movie I want to see more of. It's got memorable and likable characters, a world-threatening plot, but never shies away from those moments that creep up next to you and grab on tightly. This is a good one, folks. I highly recommend it.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. side that we